Okay, for your initial homework this week, I'm going to have you find a dot to dot. And you can see that I just did a Google search for dot to dot and I selected images and I see a bunch of them here. I want you to go for something not horribly hard. These look ridiculous, but something that gives you a little bit of a challenge. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to pick this little Pokemon dude. So I'm going to click here just to select this in Google. And here it is over on the right. I'm just going to right click and do a save image as. And I'm going to name it Pokemon when my computer catches up. Pokemon dot whatever. I'm going to save it as a JPEG. This is an image, so it's going to be a JPEG or a PNG, most likely if you're getting it off of the internet. And I'm going to choose save. I think that went to my desktop. I've almost already forgotten, which is not good. All right, then we're going to come into Illustrator and we're going to create a new document. So I have no clue how big this Pokemon is, so I'm just going to go with a letter size document for starters to see what it looks like. And I'm going to open up a blank artboard. From here, I'm going to do a file, place. And I think we did this earlier. We've placed an image in. I think when we were doing our exercise a week or two ago, we placed a photo into that web app mockup we did in Illustrator. I'm going to go to the desktop where I believe it's saved. There it is. Now, this is the important part. Do not rush through this. I'm going to single click to select it. Before I say place, because that's just going to place the image in my document, I want it to be a template. I'm going to click on the template, and that's all I want selected. I don't want it linked. I want it permanently embedded in this file, specifically as a template. So this is very important. This is going to be my template layer, and I'm going to say place. Then I'm going to see how big it is in relation. Hey, I got lucky. A lot of times it's going to be way bigger than your artboard or way smaller than your artboard. If that happens, because you were just guessing with your artboard, switch to the artboard tool. And actually this is bigger than my artboard. Now that I see it, I need to make my artboard bigger to match this entire size of my template that I placed in here. Oh yeah, a lot bigger. So make sure that once you place it, you modify your artboard to either be bigger so that it fits your whole template, or if the template that you placed is tiny, shrink your artboard down. You need to think of artboards as the thing that prints. So with your phones, your cell phones that you did for Project 1, I hadn't stressed that enough yet. But a lot of you, your artboard itself was 8.5 by 11 and your phone was something small within it. Your artboard should be the exact dimensions of the phone. That's all I should see. When I print it on paper, it's going to center and be in the center of an 8.5 by 11, but that's irrelevant. The artboard should be the size of the piece that you're working on. So I just switched to the artboard tool and fixed that. I want you to look at your layers panel. This is really important. This is where I know I made a template layer. It's kind of grayed out. It's not dark black like the original would have been. It's a locked layer and it says it's a template, and it's automatically put layer 1 above it, and that's where we're going to start drawing and doing things. So you are going to be using the pen tool. Switch back to the pen tool, and to get from point 1 to 2, what I don't want you guys to do is this. This is a bunch of straight lines, and Pokemon does not deserve this. Pokemon deserves nice curved lines. Okay? What I want you to do, undo, 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 forever and ever, is I want you to think about how you would really draw this. So you're going to be making curves that come down here. So maybe we think, okay, this curve has to go down, has to go this way, so I'm maybe going to set it here, and then I'm going to try to come down to 0.5 and bend it out to touch points as close to points 2, 3, and 4 as I can get. That's a best practice. We are not doing a tiny curve here, a tiny curve here, a tiny curve here. To get from point 1 to 5 with 2 anchor points is perfectly doable. To get from 5 to 9 is going to be doable, but look how my curve is going the wrong way. So you're going to have to come back to this anchor point, hold Option, and try to swing this bad boy back this direction so your leading line is now going in the right direction. You can see it's too hard of an anchor here. We're going to have to do some tweaking, but this is a relatively good start. It's definitely going to need some tweaking, otherwise Pokemon has big cheeks. So the goal of this exercise is for you to connect the dot to dots in the most efficient way using the pen tool. Only switch to straight lines and corner points when necessary, when it applies. Otherwise, I expect you to be using curves. So I don't expect this. If I open it up and I see this, that's a problem. That's just a bunch of straight lines. I'm going to show you real quickly here. Command click. If I go into outline mode, when I'm seeing this, well, there's not much difference. Oh, here's a good point. Notice how I'm covering up some of these numbers. It's because when I was using my pen tool, I didn't first make sure to turn off my white fill. I don't want that. So before you get drawing, make sure you have no fill and a 1-point stroke. Do not do the straight lines. This will get you no points. I need to see curves. So practice with the dot to dot of your choice using a template layer. That's really important. So in Blackboard, I mentioned in Learning Plan 5, in your dot to dot, which is, where are you? Down here, I'll fix it. I want you to find a dot to dot, save it, bring it into Illustrator, use the place command, and check the template layer so that you actually place it as a template layer. Then practice using the pen tool only with rounded lines, straight lines where needed. This is due by 8 a.m. next week. If it's done earlier and you upload it earlier, if I see it and have time to grade, I'll look at them and try to give you feedback before you move on. The reason for that is that the main project I'm going to announce next.